it made me wonder how in the history of photography might you see how this work fits in? I mean, going back um, to, let's say, the work of Julia Margaret Cameron, to Fred Hollanday, Minor White, and so on. I mean, works, that were intentionally spiritually based.
Hmm.
And I don't know if any of um, these photographers or other artists or philosophers may have had input on how you arrived at your final destination in this series.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say that any particular photographer had a direct input or influence making the work. But perhaps definitely, after the work was made and further conceptualizing and researching and or understanding um like what did I just make and what does it mean, so I tend to work more intuitively. So I make something first and then I ask the questions either during the making process or after. Minor White has always been a huge influence of mine, or inspiration rather. Just his ability to see photographs as this vessel for metaphor, and abstraction, and allowing other people to sort of come to terms with the work on their own. Um, so certainly, those aspects have played a part in the way that I see photography and how I use it. Discussions that I've had with friends and also while I was in school, looking at Roy de Carava and his work, his use of really dark work as
Mhm.
well to kind of shift the focus and the understanding of, you know, uh, uh, folks living in Harlem, Black folks and just sort of the beauty and lusciousness of Blackness that exists in his photographs. And then you even have contemporary photographers like Dawood Bey, and his series A Night Coming Tenderly Black,
Right.
which I learned about after making the work. And just these really low light landscapes, tapping into this like real visceral experience of enslaved people, you know, moving in the nighttime, attempting to find their space of freedom. So it definitely sits within this like historical context. Um, Looking at folks like Minor White or even Jerry Yulesman and how they're thinking about photographs as like windows into the mind. Excuse me. And then also, contemporary folks as well, who are using similar visual strategies, but to talk about other narratives and concepts and ideas. But yeah, no, it's interesting to kind of see how different the varying inspirations and influences that I've had over the year, getting my bachelor's in photography, then the master's, and how it's all come together to kind of, or to help me create, the works that I have.